How does Jesus now serve in the heavenly tabernacle? Hebrews chapter 9, verse 11 to 14 will show us this. It says the heavenly pattern of worship. But now the Anointed One has become the king priest of every wonderful thing that has come. For he serves in a greater, more perfect heavenly tabernacle not made by men, that is to say, not a part of this creation. And he has entered once and forever into the holiest sanctuary of all, not with the blood of animal sacrifices, but with the sacred blood of his own sacrifice. And he alone has made our salvation secure forever. Into the old covenant, the blood of bulls, goats, and the ashes of a heifer were sprinkled on those who were defiled and effectively cleaned them outwardly from their ceremonial impurities. Yet how much more will the sacred blood of the Messiah thoroughly cleanse our consciences? For by the power of the eternal Spirit, he has offered himself to God as the perfect sacrifice that now frees us from our dead works to worship and serve the living God. So animal blood sacrifices, they're no longer needed because Jesus entered the holiest of holies with his blood, a perfect sacrifice. So now we're sanctified and our consciences are made clean. We can serve the living God. We can stand before God with a clean and honest conscience. But have there ever been men who stood before God before, like for real? Actually, there have. There was a lot of them at one time, actually, and they weren't covered by the blood of Jesus. So let's read this in Exodus chapter 24, and we're going to see what Moses was doing at this time. Exodus 24, 9 to 13, and then verse 18. Then Moses, it says, on the mountain with God. Then Moses went up, also Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel. There's 74 people on the mountain with God. And they saw the God of Israel. That's awesome. And there was under his feet, as it were, a paved work of sapphire stone, and it was like the very heavens in its clearness. But on the nobles of the children of Israel he did not lay his hand. So they saw God, and they ate, and they drank. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Come up to me on the mountain and be there, and I will give you tablets of stone and the law and commandments which I have written, that you may teach them." So Moses arose with his assistant Joshua, and Moses went up to the mountain of God. And then verse 18, so Moses went into the midst of the cloud and went up into the mountain, and Moses was on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights. So 74 men stood before God and saw him on the mountain. So why couldn't we do this? Why can't we stand before God? We are now covered by the blood of Jesus. We can do this. As prior studies will show, in God's eyes, we already are there. Like, follow, and subscribe to join us as we move forward as the marching bride of Christ and continue to learn how to stand in the presence of God in our daily life. I'm Wendy Elena. For today I say that I love you, but more importantly, God goes with you. So walk in peace and light and love.